Hi all my beautiful friends, family, co-workers. Here is our next Sunday Shining, and I want to thank you all for your comments once again and all your ideas that you've shared with me and some of the things that you have suggested that I talk about, and I'll just shine some light on that. So just tuning into this moment, tuning into the heart. So let's just go into this. Some of you suggested that I become more practical, and so I sort of combine my videos with nature and spirituality, so I make a combination. And what I think, I feel that what sort of came to me was that my first channel is actually really big, and this has been a process for me. So just like you are on your journey through life, I'm on my journey, and I really feel that we are being guided to what is right for us and what is our duty, because we're really here on a mission and we have work to do, and we're here to help each other. And so for the first years of my making videos, what I felt very, very strongly in me was the wish to share the beauty of nature, the beauty of life, the beauty of you as an individual, as an expression of the One, and all this joy and excitement, and also lots of practical things about keeping animals, and especially cows. And so that channel is really chock-a-block full of all these different videos, also lots of prayer and singing with the nature. So for you who need these or feel that this is very helpful for you, all the videos are really there. And I know it's different to have a new video than watch an old video, but what I feel really, really guided to is to do these Sunday Shinings. And what one of you said that it's not really worth it because not many people watch these videos, the Sunday Shining videos. And really there's less and less people who watch them. But I can really only go with this, the nudgings I feel I'm getting from within, and that is that I should do them. Because although, I've said this before, although only one person benefits from them, it's still valuable. And as Jesus said, just helping one person, you're really helping the world. So if one person can use these Sunday Shinings, it's still valuable. And the whole thing of making a channel grow is really not something that's very a strong wish for me. And there's no money in this for me, or there is on the first channel. I make some money on those ads that I've put in. So my deepest wish is to help you love yourself and to help you feel how you get to shine more and more in this world. That's really the only reason why I'm here. And so that's where I have to concentrate my energy, or that's what I feel guided to focus on. And because we humans have been so lost and so far off this path, most of us need, it's a process. It can be a very, very long process. Because many of us are really going from more or less self-hatred, and to be able to awaken, you have to leave that behind you. You have to come into self-love and honoring yourself. And it's not loving your qualities, it's simply coming to peace with who you are and being your own, creating a sanctuary, or really coming into the sanctuary that's already in you and living from there. Because deep within you, you know that you are completely lovable, and you do honor yourself, not as a person so much, but as a being. So it's another thing is that we have been mind controlled. So it is our mind that has always dictated our path, and we're moving into the heart. And that is a huge process too. So the things I talk about are really more and more coming from the wisdom of the heart and guiding you into your heart, so that things can sound strange for the mind. And often for the mind doesn't even really understand what I'm saying. But the heart knows. So we are in an enormous process, and many are still very, very, very lost. And it can really, really sadden me, and it really can really shock me sometimes to see how lost human beings have become. And how stuck they are, and they keep being stuck. This is difficult. This is really, really difficult. Also because what we came from was being inspired by people around us. We were, from the moment we were born, even before we were born, we were being taught from all the people around us how to be human. And for most of us, all that has to be unlearned, because it's very destructive and really sick in many ways. So all that has been programmed into our mind is really bad knowledge. It's just really terrible to think about. So we have to unlearn all this, or release ourselves from it, and realize that we have learned something that's much, much, much deeper and much, much, much older, which is the wisdom of the One, Creator. And that's all, you can say programmed, but that's a wrong word it's really wrong to say, because the wisdom of God is a constant outflow. It's always alive and new. It's not a programming that was made. What we have learnt from our ancestors and the people who have been around us was a programming. And it sort of gets stuck there. It's not alive. So we are truly moving away from an old, a completely different way of being to a new way of being, where we, in a way, we become a blank slate all the time. From the moment we wake up in the morning, we're a blank slate. And we don't, what do you call it? Okay, that word, I always do that. We don't deny anything. I was talking about forgetting the past. The past was there. We don't deny anything. We let the past be the past, and whatever we remember, we remember. But we allow ourselves to come fully into the now, and so we become these pure beings who don't hold on to anything. And why do we do this? Because that way, whatever springs forth from us is new and fresh, and can be completely unknown. So we get to create what we don't know. We're stepping into the unknown all the time, and allowing ourselves to be new all the time, guided by the wisdom of our heart, which is always pouring forth. So let me just go back to, let me just see, just what came to me now. Is the whole thing of grudges. So as we move into this, allowing ourselves to let go of the past, and really look back on the past with loving eyes, that we did things that were not really great, others did things that weren't really great, and just allowing it to be there however it is, and more seeing that it was all really something we chose, and it was all part of our learning process, so there was nothing really wrong with it. So having this very gentle, loving embrace on the past, whatever we feel we need to have there. And so what is so important for us now, I was just listening to John Smallman from England with a message from Jesus, how this emotional cleansing is the only thing that's important right now. So wherever you are in your life, whatever's happening in your life, have a sense, where are there any grudges? Is there a grudge? Is there someone you can't forgive? Is there something that makes you upset? Are there people around you who trigger you and bring up these negative emotions? All this has to be released. It has to be healed. So allow yourself to notice, am I holding on to anything that is not serving me? And we all still are. So this is, leading a life, which I really do. I rest a lot and sleep a lot. And my main focus, although I have all this outside in my life with the practical things, I know that the only important thing is that I stay in this loving space within me. I feel the love flowing within me, and I treat myself 100% with love all the time. If I need to rest, I rest. If I'm hungry, I eat. And make sure that this is, you are completely honoring yourself in every moment. And it can mean that you can't have a job. And the job I have I work very few hours really, and it's just I'm just very, very, very lucky really to have, and there's no such thing as luck, but I don't have to work many hours, so I have a lot of freedom. So I know that I will not survive if I don't take care of myself 100% every day and never push myself. And so having this very, very loving, gentle, nurturing life for myself is the only way. I won't make it otherwise. I cannot be on this planet if I don't do that. And as especially when we go out and meet others, we will be triggered, and then when I come back into my space, I can spend time noticing what was it that triggered me. Why do I think this person is an absolute idiot, or whatever I feel? Because it will always be about myself. They will always be mirroring something in me. It's that's all they're doing. So if I meet people who are very negative and always complaining, it's really something within me. And especially if it triggers me. If it doesn't trigger me, I'm there to just be the love and the peace that they are, to just help them be there and slowly realize that it's not worth it. And the path of complaining is the path of darkness. You're keeping yourself in the darkness. And so no matter what situation we are in, we always have the choice to feel joy, appreciation and gratitude. This choice is never ever taken away from us. We can always choose it, no matter how miserable our life is. And that is the path of the light. So living in love, making sure that you are deeply loving and honoring towards yourself. I think that is vital right now. And of course the healing is much easier because you're always holding yourself in this loving embrace. And going on this path, you really know that there's nothing wrong with you. You might have grudges, you might have done all these different sorts of things that really were not really great, but there's nothing wrong with you. All you need to do is notice it and release it. And so I want to just touch on, once again, it can be estranged children, which I've touched on so many times, but it can also be, because one of you asked about this, or a few of you have asked about this, could you please talk more about estranged children? And I've talked so much about it, and I think I have collected it all in my playlists on both channels. But coming back to the self-love, when people avoid us, there's someone who is avoiding you in your life. I think the first main question to ask yourself is, where am I avoiding myself? They are behaving towards me in I feel they don't love me. They don't love me. They stay away. They don't want to have anything to do with me. They don't love me. And the quickest way to move forward is to come back to yourself and ask yourself, in which way am I not being loving towards myself? Because that is the main message they're giving you. And God, the universe, is telling you to bring your focus back to the unloving part of yourself. So ask yourself, do I love myself? Do I appreciate myself? Do I honor myself? And that is really the main message to us when this happens. And the path of awakening is all about coming into deeper love for ourselves, which is really the path to loving everything and everyone. So, and also, I said last time, let's have a drink. I was saying last time about the children, maybe our children or someone else who doesn't wish to have contact with us, and that how people are in the dark. And I just want to say, people who don't wish to have contact with us can be very highly evolved and much further ahead on their evolutionary path, and are not necessarily in the dark. So what is so being in the dark is really when you're in a state where you blame. So people who leave us because they don't like us, I mean, if you do it that way, it's quite a clear sign that you're in the dark. But it's not really our job to decide whether someone is in the dark or not. But people, let's say somebody, maybe a child or someone else in your life, doesn't wish to have contact with you. If a clear sign that they are in the light and they've chosen the path of the light is that they maybe will say to you, we can't be together for a while because there's something I'm learning in my life, and I need that you are not a part of my life at the moment. That is a very evolved way of doing it, so that you know, and they can maybe even say, I love you, but I can't be with you, because there's things I have to do on my own. That is a very evolved way to do it. But going back to this, it's not really our job to decide whether somebody is in the dark or not. And when people choose to not be with us, it is very, very important for our growth process and for the whole situation, for healing the whole relationship, that we understand that we are all on a path in this world, on this planet. We're all in a growth process, and we have no idea what they are in the process of learning. And if we wish to live in the light, and it's one of our chores is to respect that person who has chosen a life without you, to respect them. And in our mind we might think their life looks like a complete mess, and they're lost and they're stuck, and we should help them and all this, but we really have no right to do that, because it can be a very, very important path of their growth process that they go into something that looks very, very dark. And sometimes we need to reach out and help see if we can get a connection going. But if we have tried and really guided from our heart, try to connect with them, and it's not possible, they don't want it, I believe the most loving thing is to leave them alone, and not only just leave them alone, as I've talked about many times, and recently, do it reluctantly. What is important is that we let them go with the deepest of respect for their path. They are maybe a child of us, or a neighbor of us, or a father of us, whatever they are, and they've chosen a life without us for a while, or maybe for the rest of this life. And they are also this little shining light of God. They are a manifestation of God. God is in there, expressing him or herself, and is on a journey of learning. And they are also part of the stars and the planets, and they are so much more than just your daughter or your son or your father or whatever it is. They are so much more. So this is what I believe really is love. And I was just hearing an absolutely wonderful interview with a woman who survived Auschwitz. I'll just go back to yesterday, and how she said love is really just letting go. That's what love is, just let it go. And if you can go the step further and say, I let you go with the deepest of respect, that you are doing what is true for you. And if that means a life without me, I love you there. That is the love that we have come to this planet to learn, the unconditional love. I love you on your path, even though it's not with me. And of course that is really the greatest help you can give that person, that you love them where they are. And their ego, our egos, and all the friction and all the conflict that our egos were creating before is really, you take the energy out of that, because their ego can't really fight. It becomes deactivated, the ego, because you're really speaking to their divine selves. You are acting from your divine self by loving them exactly where they are on their path and letting them go with the deepest of love and respect. And that message is sent to their divine selves. So they can feel, and they can say to themselves deep within that there's no one who has grudges on me, because I'm on the path I feel is right for me. There's no one who's sitting there somewhere in this world angry at me, pissed off by me. They're not there. They only send me love. So understanding that we are all these multidimensional beings, and we are here for a while on earth where we are connected on our paths, and sometimes we are led away from each other. And that's beautiful. And the more you grow on this path, and the more you dare to let go, and you can see it with the eyes of your heart, the more you will sense that you are connected. Because you can't really be separate, because we're all one. So yeah, that was another thing I wanted to share. The woman I saw yesterday, which was on Lewis Howes, which is a young man, I think he's called Lewis Howes or Lewis Hose, which I've left links of before. I think you can really sense how he is evolving. He's a very wonderful young man who has these podcasts. And he was interviewing Dr. Edith Eger, who is a 93-year-old Auschwitz survivor, and also a clinical psychologist or something like that. And it was, I'll leave a link here so you can see the interview if you like. And absolutely fascinating story about how she says Auschwitz was her biggest gift or something like that. And she tells a story about how this actually helped her to grow. And she's not really into spirituality, and she says something like, we don't have God powers, we don't have the power of God within us, which I believe is wrong. So she's just on a different path, but she's helping thousands of people to be. What she wants to help people do is let go of all the grudges, all the stuff from the past, and become your true self. So that she's on her path, doing it her way. And it's so encouraging. And so what I just want to really touch on today is the whole thing of going deeper and going further on our path of realizing that God is within us. It is really impossible for the mind to understand this. How can God, or the one light that created everything that is in all the universes, in all the galaxies, this planet, everything in all its, we have not seen the end of the universes. You can't, it's just eternal. The creator of all that is living in me and in you. It is really the essence of who you are. So Dr. Edith was saying, we don't have God powers, but as I see it, that's simply not true. You are really God. You are God manifested in a human body. And on my own journey, these weeks and days, it's coming in stronger, that the healing I need to do with my body and the steps I need to take is to really go deeper into this truth and this awareness that God is really within me. Because on my journey of making these videos, it's very much, usually very much God is something out here that we pray to, although I knew that God is also in here, and that we are in God. God is omnipresent. So, but that's what I feel, that this is really what I'm going to focus on more and more in these videos, is to help myself and help you to realize that God is not far away. God is actually closer to you than you are to yourself. And God is is the essence of who you are. It's the light within you. It's your true self. It's your divine nature. Is God. And the situation is that God has come into physical matter, and you have chosen as a spirit to come into this earth, onto this earth, to live on this earth as a human being, but you are really not a human being. It's just something you are for a while. You are this little aspect of God. And it's not only a part of God that's in you, it's all of God. Because God can only be completely present. And right there where you are in your life, on your farm or in the city where you live, or with your animals or with no animals, whatever life you have, God is wishing to be expressed through you. God is there, waiting with complete love within you, that you release your grip on your ego, which is really not you, it's a made-up person, and to discover that he is, she is, this light and this life, which is the eternal life, is in you and wishes to express himself, herself, through you when you drink your tea. God wishes to do it through you. God is actually experiencing me drinking tea. So this is how I see it, and what I've learned on my path. This is the truth. God wishes to experience. So he's there, and he's not saying do this, do this, do this, do this, do that. He says, I'm here. I wish to be present. I wish to take over your life. But I wish you to let my light and my energy go into your mind, and we together work to create and to experience. I wish to experience through you. So I wish you to open up to my being, God says, so we can live together on this earth in this lifetime and experience. I wish to experience through you. And so how do we give God space to live in us and to really experience through us? And the first thing is to be at peace. God can fill us when we choose to be at peace. Let go of the past, let go of the future, come into the present. God fills us. And we feel him, feel her, all this energy. So really it is choosing peace. And God will guide us. I want to do this, try this. Try going there. Oh, that was a mistake. There's nothing called a mistake, really. That was not really smart, but we tried it. We did it. And we learned something from it. So coming into this state of being where God is experiencing through me. And the beautiful thing, of course, is that there's nothing more pleasant, more peace-filled, more love-filled than being in this the energy of God, and sensing how our old personality is just dropping away. So we choose peace, and we choose with our awareness to allow God to fill us. Feel how good that feels. And we sense automatically that it doesn't really matter what we do. It's not really important. The main thing is that we're feeling God fill us. And step into the unknown. So going back to the blank slate, we feel we are this blank slate. We are in this pure place where there really is no past. There is really no future. So we are here, we are alive, we are full of the presence of God, and we go about our daily life using that energy, allowing that energy to be our driver. So this is something I will go I will spend more and more time on with these videos. How can we stop seeing God as something out there that is some religious figure, to realizing that God is living and vibrating and breathing within us, and let him, her, be the expression of who we are. Hi all you beautiful people. I had a bit of a challenge with my camera, so yeah, this is the finishing video. So I send you all my love this Sunday, and may you feel the presence of God within you, filling you with peace, filling you with love, and filling you with well-being. See you.